Bay Area, like Lesbian Archives or something.
The only one I can.
Okay, yeah, I took some stuff up. What I'll also do, I mean, there's different. I mean, my belief is somebody that does this sort of work. I mean, there's a lot of people that are interested. So what I will do shortly is, is look up on Zami's website. And then what's the name of the organization in Oakland that you were part of too? The Bay Area, like Lesbian Archives or something.
The only one I can think of is NIA.
Yeah.
NIA.
Yeah.
So, that was one of the first organizations that Black lesbians used to get together once a year out at the Marin Headlands.
But you're connected with the Bay Area Lesbian Archives too, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll look on their website and I'll look on Zami's website and just see like what might be going on, what they might be having going on, and see if there's anybody that wants to connect with me or have any input or.
All right. I mean, I think my 75th birthday celebration is going to be where I'm asking all of these old dykes who've been out here for years to come back and celebrate and kind of passing of the torch kind of thing,
If they can't come here, I mean, they can at least, like now, I mean, with everybody having Zoom.
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean. I'm not doing an in-person thing. I'm doing a Zoom.
Okay,
Zoom celebration. Yeah, I'm not.
And recording that, definitely.
Right, and recording that and making sure that women all across the country who I am in touch with understand that there are many of us who fought for the freedoms that they have today. And that it was not always an easy road to travel. But that through perseverance and developing, remember there used to be consciousness-raising groups. Remember those? Women's
Where a lot of them were white women?
Yeah, a lot of them were white women. Yeah. But there were a small group of black women who did it too. And it was really around gaining more visibility for black queer people, There was, at one point, there was a group of black men, a group of brothers called the Black Men's Network, I think, Black Men's Exchange, which was a group of black men out of Oakland who worked to have black brothers have more visibility in the LGBT movement. A guy named Joe Hawkins.
Joe Hawkins.
Yeah, he's
live and kicking.
Yeah, he's still involved. In fact, I think he's the director of the Oakland LGBT Center.
Is. Yeah.
So Joe and I go back a long way as well. I've known Joe for years. And so proud of the work that he's doing now.
I mean, that center's amazing. They have so much going on.
Yeah. And I think the thing that prevents us from coming together as a community in Solano County, first of all, the Pride Center is located up county. It's in Fairfield, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know about the Fairfield LGBT community. I don't know about them. I've never had any work with them.
Well, I haven't given up.
Build more unity among queer people in this county and to have a stronger voice. My hope is to live long enough to see an openly gay person elected to the Vallejo City Council.
Well, I hope
better, but I have heard about
it. She and her partner own Noonies, the place where you and me went for breakfast once.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, I met her at the queer parade. I mean, at the picnic, at the pride picnic. So yeah, shoot. She's we definitely gotta connect you and her.
Okay.
I want a gay person on our fucking council.
Yeah, me too. I want us to get rid of the old folks on the council, and we need to make it attractive enough so that some of our younger people can Right. Who can live on $1,500 a month?
No one in that, but it's work. No, I mean I don't agree with it,
but you know,
Oakland and Jerry Brown. Okay. How about like since you're thinking about like I mean, what was it like? I mean, that would have been a huge process too.
Yeah, it was, and I think the name of the city manager was Henry Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
Was the city manager at that point, and I think that when Jerry Brown came on the scene, he did not.
But he'd always been on the scene.
Yeah, I mean, when he came on the scene to run for the mayor of Oakland.
Were people surprised? I mean...
I think there were people who were surprised and thought that Jerry would not be good for Oakland, but that turned out to be...
Yeah.
Right.
You know...
Exactly. But also, that's what you can do when you have a social justice conscience. You can say, I'm going to put myself out here. And
you can't.
Money... And a social justice conscience, then that's a winner.
Well,
one of the things is that I am going to invite Bob Sampayan and Robert McConnell to come over and have lunch with me.
Oh, nice.
You know, Bob has said a couple of times that him and Ramona would like to come over. And Paula McConnell called me last week. And Ansel, did you know Ansel Lofus?
No.
Ansel owned that beautiful house over there on Sonoma Boulevard. No, is that Sonoma? Georgia, on Georgia Street. Like going up Georgia Street, there's this huge Victorian. Mm-hmm. It's had a sign out for sale. Ansel died of cancer maybe... I don't know, 8-9 years ago. Oh, no. But Ansel's family owned the first credit union in Vallejo.
Wow.
And they also were the first to give black people loans.
Oh, wow.
To buy houses here in Vallejo.
That's amazing history, yeah.
So Ansel was a friend of mine, and they really developed Lofus Gardens. You know that part of it? Well, anyway, they were some of the first people who gave black people loans to buy houses in Vallejo. And I loved Ansel. I loved her dearly. And I would go over and talk to Ansel probably once or twice a month. You know, the other person who has done a lot for this town is Pam Keith.
I don't know.
Do you know Pam? Pam was on the on the Solano County School Board for years. Mm-hmm. And she's an old radical who was born in this town as well. Her family's from this town. So, you know, there are a lot of old-time Vallejoans whose family have lived here for a generation. I think Ann Carm, and even though Leot is not from this town, she's lived here for 30 years, and there's not one social battle that has happened in this town that she's not been involved in.
Definitely.
You know? So Paula Bauer, another one.
Oh, I love Paula.
Another long-time activist in this town.
Not just
grateful I am for the medical care that we have here in Solano County.
Oh, yeah.
There may be a lot of things that we don't do well in this county, but provide medical care and services for seniors is not one of them. We have Choices in Aging that has a magnificent program.
They sure do.
You know.
You know Karen Richard?
We just have all these little hidden people in Vallejo who have done the work for years in this town, you know, and have not gotten the kind of recognition that they should got. Yeah, and then not even Mario's another one.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, that brother has paid his dues, you know. And
yeah.
He's done. I remember him for a long time carrying on the AIDS Day of Prayer.
Well, he still does.
Does he still do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that he was still doing it.
I mean, at his event coming up, and it's gonna be like something from Maria Guevara, which a lot of people want to have something.
Yeah, she was another one.
God, she was a real light. But he's going to, it is going to, exactly what you said, it is going to be honoring people that, you know, are like unsung and shine. But
oh, well, good.
Yeah,
Maria Guevara. I remember that there was a homeless guy who had parked his car in front of my house, and it was there for days. And I went out one night and found him sleeping in his car, and I knocked on his door, on the window, and asked him if I could help him. And he said, you know, he works, but he's not making enough money to get an apartment, I think he was from Fairfield or somewhere, and he got kicked out of his house or something. And anyway, he was sleeping out in front of my house in his car, and so I went out and knocked on his window, and then I got in touch with Maria Guevara, and she came over and talked to him and got him some temporary housing.
She was amazing. Yeah, it was.
I know. Yeah, that was a real loss to our community. So, you said that they're going to be honoring her?
Yeah.
Who used to be on the planning committee, Chris Platzer.
Yeah.
Who put a picture of a homeless guy on Next Door and talked about, is this economic development in Vallejo? And so, you know, and then we have people on Next Door who are trying to criminalize the homeless folks. And I'm just like, you know, barefoot but the grace of God.
Me too.
You know,
oh my
go
God,
I,
man.
you know?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, when did it become, what we should be talking about is those of us who are housed, how we should be.
Pure luck with me, man.
Yeah.
You know, I have help.
Yeah. I said, what we should be doing is those of us who are blessed to be housed should be working to get some of these people off the street.
I just feel like, okay.
Yeah. So that's one thing they did do, although the escalation in crime in Oakland is just mind-boggling. But it's the same way all over the country. I just watched this whole thing on guns and killings.
Oh my God, there's like.
I think that people are under a lot of stress because of this pandemic. You know.
Yeah, they're under stress and
worry about isolated seniors during the pandemic. You know.
Oh yeah, me
because
too.
if it wasn't for my partner and the networks that I'm involved in.
Yeah.
You know, I would be pretty isolated here because, you know, I've lost my driving privileges temporarily.
Have you used Lyft?
No. Tanya's here most of the time, so.
Well, yeah.
But the thing that I want to do most of all that I'm working in therapy is to get the flexibility back to drive my own car.
I know, but.
You know, I mean, I bought a new car and it's got less than 1,600 miles on it.
I saw that car.
So.
I think that was your phone, not mine.
So, I'm going to drive my own car. I'm determined. And Tanya's determined too. She said, when I start to get my license back, I'll have to chauffeur her around.
Nice.
So.
I'm just.
And, you know, it's not the car so much. I probably will do that. She's going back to work on this project called Mega Black.
Oh, yeah.
In San Francisco, where the mayor of San Francisco took money from everybody, including the police department.
She rocks. I wish we had a mayor like her.
Yeah, to redistribute the money into the community.
Mm-hmm.
And her first thing is to attack homelessness and people being priced out of San Francisco.
I'm just checking in for my... You were just in so many movements and everything, you know, your whole life. Can you talk about what was fun about it?
Well, I think the whole thing that was fun was that we were young and we thought we could conquer the world, you know. We never...
Did you party and date? And,
oh, yeah, we partied.
I mean, what was dating like? I'm always really interested in that.
In the early days, when I first came out, yeah, I dated lots of women. And it was, you know...
Where did you meet?
Probably in one of the lesbian and gay bars that was on Long Island. There used to be a place on Long Island. I can't remember the name of it, but...
I can probably find the name.
Yeah, there was a place on Long Island that was one of the premier spots for gays and lesbians, primarily lesbians, that I used to go out there a lot. And I met a lot of women out there. And then there was a place up in Harlem that was, again, I think it was called Sylvia's. Maybe that's a soul food restaurant. I don't know. There was a place up in Harlem. You could ask Joyce. She would know better. That was primarily a lot of black lesbians would go there. And I would go there too. But yeah, I met lots of women. The first woman that I had a relationship with, her name was Tina. And she was a barmaid in a local bar. And... I remember at that time I was drinking rum and Coke. And she just kept giving me these rum and Cokes, you know. And I got pretty lit. And so finally I said, no, I have to go home, man. I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to be in any condition to drive. She said, no, just sit here. you're coming home with me. And I was like, oh, okay.
So that would have been about in the 50s?
60s.
60s.
Yeah.
Do you remember how people dressed back? Was she cute?
Mm-hmm. She was cute. She was very cute. Yeah, we dressed in bell-bottoms.
Bell-bottoms, yeah.
So I went home with her, and then that was my first introduction, you know?
Wow.
And
you jump right in, bartender, I mean, wow.
And so we stayed together for a little while. But I never forget that the night that she had a lot of men who thought were hitting on her, because she was so attractive. She was a very cute girl. And one night I walked in, and this man was trying to hit on her, and she said, I don't know what you don't get, but I'm going home with her.
What was her name?
It was Tina telling this man.
Tina, okay, her name was Tina.
Telling this man, I don't know what you don't get, but I'm going home with her. And you know, the dude jumped on me, assaulted me in the bar.
Oh my God.
Just started to wail on me, and this man, and she came out behind the bar and was hitting him with a broomstick and doing all kinds of things. And then I went home and I told my stepfather, this is the only thing my stepfather ever did that was, I think, socially redeeming. I told my stepfather that this dude had jumped on me in this bar. And my stepfather went back to the bar and pistol whipped the dude.
Oh my God. Oh, I remember you telling him.
Told him, don't you ever touch my daughter again.
Wow.
You know?
So, that he did
So that's one thing I can say that he did for me growing up. And the guy never touched me again. I mean, I went up, but, you know, it was awful. I mean, I just walked in the bar and she said, I don't know what you don't get. I'm going home with her. You know, and I looked, and next thing I know, this guy
Did he get 86?
Oh, yeah, he did. He did. He got banned from the bar. He got pistol whipped by my stepfather.
So he learned his lesson.